Hello everyone, it's Truds here, and today we've got another Destiny 2 video. So you may or may not know that the new exotic grenade launcher Witherhoard is actually broken. It's deleting raid bosses in seconds and destroys most other bosses with relative ease. To say it's overpowered as a special weapon is an understatement, but that's okay, it's doing a normal thing, but just at a higher rate of damage than what was originally intended according to Bungie. It's doing so much damage that it's getting a fix this next week, and so it will be toned down somewhat. However, when I said it is actually broken, it is actually broken more than you may think. It's not just doing incredible amounts of boss damage acting as a delete button, but it is also now a 7th Seraph weapon, capable of creating Warmind Cells over and over again. So in today's video, not only will we be covering how you can make the Witherhoard into a Seraph weapon, but we will also be putting this into a super strong Warmind Cell build, incorporating some of the new arrivals charged with light mods too. Now if you go on to enjoy this video, a rating down below will be greatly appreciated, and if you are new to the channel then please hit subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support me and stay up to date with the latest builds right here. So this little nugget of a bug came to me from a community member on the channel, courtesy of Towers Ramen Shop over on Twitter. They are currently working on a Destiny themed comic series, so if you want to see some different style of Destiny content, go check it out, a link is in the description below. Now I'm not quite sure why this works, and there are a few factors as to how, so let's start with the basics. To show this off first, we are jumping into the Tribute Hall, as it's easy to replicate consistently with some degree of fairness. Now Witherhoard causes damage over time, either with a direct hit or from blights on the ground near a target. Now obviously these don't and shouldn't create Warmind Cells, nowhere in the weapon's description does it say it, it's not a thing. To refresh though, from the previous season Warmind Cell generation is somewhat fixed to the tier of ad you are killing using a Seraph weapon, so they drop more consistently from higher health yellow bar enemies than your bog standard red bar trash ads. So for me to get this bug to work, I equipped the Worthy Armour mod Wrath of Rasputin. This is a solar affinity mod which costs 1 energy and will allow solar splash damage final blows to have a chance to create Warmind Cells. Next, and this is the main part, you also need to equip a Seraph weapon in either your energy or power weapon slot. I've chosen the 7th Seraph SI2 sidearm for this one. For example, we are going to be picking on this yellow bar Fallen to up our chances of creating Warmind Cells. To get this to work though, first up you need to prime with Witherhoard, so a body shot and a floor shot will kill this Fallen. This is the most important part though now, and you can't get this bit wrong. Switch to your sidearm. That's it. Watch the Vandal burn out from the Witherhoard as you have your sidearm ready, and voila! There pops your Warmind Cell, ready to be used in a whole number of scenarios, builds and circumstances to suit your tastes. Now I'll leave some of this testing up in the background, but I was able to get Warmind Cells to drop again and again and again and again using this method. Sometimes I'd miss a weapon swap as Witherhoard's already broken damage tick would just nuke the Vandal before I realised, but oh boy, is this broken, and the absolute 100% consistency I had with making Warmind Cells from this Fallen just show that this isn't a one-off. I'm not even sure at this moment in time as I write this that anybody at Bungie even knows that this is a thing, but here it is, this is a thing. So on that, and for the next part of the video, yes, you've guessed it, we are going to make a stupidly strong build around this bug, incorporating Warmind Cell mods from the Season of the Worthy and some of the new Charged with Light mods from Season of Arrivals. As we've already got one mod slot covered with the Wrath of Rasputin, we will be using 4 other mods, with no exotic armour pieces in this build. Just a pretext though that this bug can work without the Wrath mod, but I wasn't able to replicate this, so if you want to experiment then fill your boots. This bug and the following build work in all aspects of the game, but just bear in mind that the Warmind Cell production is RNG, whether by using this bug or in general through the Seraph weapons. So as we are creating Warmind Cells, we're going to chuck on the Power of Rasputin mod, which will give us a huge buff to weapon damage to enemies who are near to Warmind Cells. This is a void affinity mod which costs 4 energy. The next mod we're putting into this build will allow us to become charged with light. Incinerating Light is a solar affinity mod which costs 3 energy. This mod allows you to become charged with light by defeating multiple combatants with the explosion of a Warmind Cell. Now you might be wondering, why do we need to become charged with light when you can simply just blow everything up with the Warmind Cell and be done with it? Good point, I see where you're coming from. But here, we go for the builds that aren't always straight laced and are a bit out there. Well, we've got the super strong Warmind Cells to blow stuff up, which will make us charged with light. We're also using a sidearm to proc the Warmind Cell, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to you, we're using Surprise Attack. This new Arrivals mod costs 1 void energy and gives a huge buff to sidearm weapon damage. Whilst charged with light, reloading already in a sidearm will consume all stacks of charged with light and convert them into a major damage buff, which are depleted as you cause damage with that sidearm to combatants. Now we covered this mod in depth recently, there's a link to that video below, but it grants a perk called Charged Magazine, buffing sidearm damage by 100%. 1 stack of Charged with Light will provide 5 charged magazine shots, and in this case it stacks with the Vorpal perk of the Seraph SI2 to grant even more DPS potential to mini bosses and bosses. It also stacks with the Power of Rasputin mod to really take your DPS with this poxy little sidearm to a whole other level. Now this perk itself in this build isn't to its maxed out potential of a 25 times stack of charged magazine, but this little bump is a nice touch to this build. Now to tally the DPS life out of this build, we're going to briefly touch on a mod we haven't discussed on the channel yet, and that's another new Arrivals mod, Lucent Blade. This is a top tier mod if you haven't seen by now, and it goes into our charged with light aspect. Whilst you're charged with light, dealing damage with a sword gives you bonus damage for 5 seconds, which consumes 1 stack of charged with light. It also comes with Replenishing Blade, which greatly increases the recharge rate of equipped swords as long as you slot in 1 other arc mod into that same armour piece. We're going to pair this mod with the new Season Pass sword, Falling Guillotine, which is already broken in terms of its damage output, so putting it in with this mod in this build, it'll fit right in. So as you can see, this crazy broken build gives you a multitude of options for top tier DPS. It is highly likely a number of bits in this build will get patched at some point, with obviously Witherhoard's outright damage getting a nerf next week. As to its Warmind Cell production, we will see. And as for the guillotine's 2 times damage straight off the bat, that'll be next for sure, but for now, enjoy this broken mess. At this point, I'm pretty sure it was the Witherhoard which took down the Almighty and not actually Rasputin. So there we go, possibly the most broken build we've seen so far this season. Let me know in the comment section below if you're going to try this one out. If you're new to the channel and like the content, then please subscribe and also hit a rating too. It really does help me out and I greatly appreciate all of the support. As always, thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you next time.